When you host the shit out of this.
I'm really glad that these are showing up on camera.
On these? One of those all those prayers I spent in church. This is. I'm gonna start talking to you. We'll get hot.
We'll start
Are we
recording.
filming? It is. Oh.
Well, okay. I'm looking at the camera because
We
that's
didn't
how
know
we do
that.
it. Yeah.
All right,
Tell
so
us.
it's time.
Okay. Alrighty. So this is podcast number 2, and I'm Robin here with Eric and Jason. And I don't know, guys. I think we should just talk to people a little bit about who we are, where we came from, what got us here. Give them a little bit of information on why we have the authority to speak on this podcast, what experience we have, because I'm sure, with the people on Facebook watching and listening, they know one of us or maybe even 2 of us, but not all of us. So, and as we said, we've evolved a lot. So I think it's interesting to continue to tell people about our adventure and that growth. So, Jason, you want to start us off telling just people a little bit about who you are, what you're about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's really kind of weird. Set up there. I feel like I'm getting ready to walk out on a stage and.
This is the
say,
podcast
"Hi,
is your
my name
stage.
is fill in the blank. I'm a label. And,
Yeah.
That's not who I am. I'll tell you who I am. I am authentic.
Yes.
I am authentically me. I am not anything else other than who I am. And because I have learned how to live life like that, I have learned how to disconnect myself from expectations of others, as well as myself. And along that adventure, I've had the honor and privilege of working in all sorts of different environments, from all sorts of different stages, with all sorts of different audiences, and I continue to come up with the same desire of improving myself and being who I am, and in that process creating environments for other people to experience their best. And it has led us up to this current moment in time, which is about 11 years and
Almost 12.
Almost 12.
Right, I was going to say 350
or something like that.
30-something days.
And in that time, I would venture to say that you have literally bypassed the 1,000 mark and have helped over 1,000 people in different stages of their lives with different issues that they've had, couples, families, individuals, through your work and your desire to help others.
Yeah, it's really my desire to help myself, honestly. And that tends to broadcast to others.
Yeah.
And so then they want to participate in that. And, over the last 11 plus years, I've become that guy. Whatever that means. You have a problem, and it's time to call that guy. And
love him or hate him.
Usually
was that getting ready to roll into a Vanilla Ice song?
Yeah.
Okay, I caught it. She almost went Ice Ice Baby on
I
you.
did. But no, honestly, you have been that guy for quite some time. And obviously there's haters out there and there's lovers. But at the end of the day, I would venture to say, I would say that after a lot of people try other things, then they come here and find healing and restoration. So, and those that leave, circle back.
That's what I was going to say. Lovers or haters, it's the phone still rings at some point in time. You know, when it gets bad enough, there's a point where they know that there's one person they can call that will answer and have an answer. You know, not the answer man, but have an option.
Well, I'll show up.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Show
and
up.
I'll be authentic.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And usually that means that something's going to happen. There's going to be some sort of forward progression, and you know, I have.
Well, I mean, over the years, you've done interventions, you've done family interventions, you've done
plans for people.
Pre-intervention stuff. I would even look at like there's been professional coaching that falls into that. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you'd call it that, but because I don't think that's the way you position yourself with it, because you look at it as just life, you know. But other people, if they were to label it from the outside, they would be like, well, that would be considered even like business coaching and stuff like that. You know, we have seen everything from high income earning, education to the lowest of low, you know.
Lowest education and lowest earning.
Yeah.
To people sometimes for the first time finding out in their 40s that this all existed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a family that we helped when we counseled the whole family, and just nothing was understood that these different things existed. So I was also going to say, without labeling you, because we're wanting to stay away from labels too, just even your own road and your path, what gives you the credibility to teach the people that you're currently teaching. And I think that's just your life experience.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've dedicated all of the last almost 12 years to anything and everything life improvement, life betterment, life restoration, and that has covered every topic, every label that this world puts on you, whatever your addiction is, or your problems, your marriage problems, your work problems, your money problems, your child problems, family problems, whatever it is. And I've used every tool that's been given to me over these last 12 years, from religion to education, whether that be organized or my own, to running larger organizations and creating programs that work for masses as they move through, to you name it, that I have never found the answer. I'm not looking for the answer. There's only a beginning to life restoration. There is no end. And so, what I've found is that belief makes us think that we have arrived somewhere. And labels tend to do that as well, whether they be good or bad. And as I've moved through this process, I have stayed away from the labels, and when I found myself getting cornered into something that did not line up with what I already knew to be undeniable in my own life based on who I am, where I am, and where I came from, then I was willing to say that's not where we need to continue to move, and push into things in which I never even realized that I had the ability to even learn, much less teach.
Right.
So, here I am.
What an adventure that
working
was.
on 12 years, high school dropout. Come from a fun, interesting family, just like most of ours are fun, interesting families.
Mm-hmm.
And 23 different schools before I dropped out of high school, and now I'm understanding quantum physics and hanging 10 on the quantum wave of infinite possibilities.
That's right.
And learning things that I did not know existed, much less that I had the ability to comprehend through experience versus knowledge. So, but none of this is really about me. It's about all of us, and being willing to get messy with ourselves, with other people, and show up, and not really have the answer or participate in what we know is not the answer.
Right.
I think that's where most people really get screwed up in the unauthentic world that we live in, is they get stuck in these organizations and in these ways of life where there really is nowhere else to go, and so they just continue to be something that they're not. And we've created our own little nook where we have been speaking authentically to ourselves and to others, and in that time we've created a track record. And so nothing tells other people more than your experience in life. It's not about what you think you know or who you think you are. It's about what you've done.
Right.
Which that becomes the undeniable part. Like, there's no arguing about it. It just is what it is, and it speaks for itself. And what we've seen take place here with what you guys have done here.
Really everywhere we've gone, and that's you included.
Yeah, I mean, what else I was thinking.
This is the Jason show.
Yeah, when I was listening to you, I was thinking, how would I describe Jason, and what was it that I would say initially caught my attention with you? Because we were joking earlier about it. The first time I saw you, I didn't like you, or I don't say I didn't like you. There was something I was like, "What is this guy's deal?" or whatever.
We get that a lot.
And
you didn't like. It's not that you didn't like me.
It was. I was like, "What's up with this guy?"
There's probably something you related to.
Yeah, it was related
and
to.
That pissed you off.
Well, yeah. So I kept coming, right? And because I was like, I got to figure this out. Because I was like, I don't know what the deal is, right? And but I would say it's like this common bond of I don't give a shit, but I give a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like this combination of I give so much, I care so much about this that I don't give a shit about all this other stuff. Right? I guess the way I would say it. And there's this thing like we've always been willing to go where other people wouldn't go to find out what's going on next or what there is. Whereas like in these different environments we've been in, whether it was our early recovery, and that's not knocking any of the environments we were in, it was just like we were always in this position listening to ourselves saying, I know that there's all this other stuff that says we've arrived, we're here, this is it, but I'm telling myself, I'm hearing myself say there's more.
There has to be more.
There has to be more. And we've found ourselves on the outskirts of stuff numerous times.
Yeah.
Almost violently rejected.
So we come in the heroes.
Come in the heroes and,
walk out the zeros.
Walk out the zeros at times, and because of that, because we're not satisfied with the status quo of, well, this is just the way it is. Right? Like this, there's that, I don't want to use the word chronic dissatisfaction, but there's this point of saying like it is better than this, and it can be better than this, and we know that. We know it in our knower.
Right.
That
because we've experienced
we don't have to sit here and watch people go through the rotating door of suffering over and over and over again and think, well, this is it. This is the way it is. This is life, and we'll be here for you. We're just going to camp out and keep feeding you the same garbage that you've been hearing and hope that something different happens, And I think that's, when I look back, like, I caught that in Jason earlier. Like, this guy's he's pushing hard. Like, that was the thing. It's like like I said, and it sounded different at times. We've used different words because of different environments we're in. But at the end of the day, it was like, I'm going this way. Yeah. Like, that's what it was, And that was what the first statement somebody said to me early in my recovery that really caught my attention when I was in treatment. I'll never forget, I was sitting in a meeting, where there's about 100 guys in a room. And we just had some issues. Somebody got in trouble and just people being stupid and stuff like that. And the guy that ran the facility said, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and make a decision with yourself that says, I'm going this way. And nothing's going to get in the way of that. And he goes, that's the only way you're going to make this path. And I don't know why that registered me at that point in time in a real deep way. And then that's when I met you. That's what I remember. Like this guy, he's got that same spark, or fire that says, I'm going, and we don't know where the hell we're going.
No clue.
But we know that we're going to keep going.
Right.
And I think we knew that we were going to go together.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
Essentially. But, you're talking about you and, a lot after meeting me the first time, and we didn't become best friends or anything. We just knew of each other. But the moment I had to build a team of people that could help a large amount of other people, you were the first person that I called, because I knew that you wanted this for yourself as much as you wanted it for other people.
Right.
And that hasn't changed for all of us over the years, we've gone through, as we do more of these, we'll talk through all the stuff. I mean, and you brought up your stuff the other day. I mean, you've gone through your cancer stuff. We've gone through major life changes, all of us, and we've all had peaks and valleys and all that stuff. We've been rocked to the core of what we thought we knew, and numerous times.
Yeah.
But that charge hasn't changed for any of us. We've always been willing to do whatever we need to do to keep moving.
Yeah. So I think that's a good segue to Eric, for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I thought we were on you.
I thought we were done.
Tell the viewers at home. No, I mean, you did a good shot of that, but I'd like to hear a little bit more about, your background, some of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
we really don't like talking about ourselves as much as people think that we do.
I know, but it's important for...
We like talking about haters and...
Yeah. But, I'm the one with all the fans and followers, so it's important
That's true. You're the popular
that all the people that are really listening from me learn about you guys. No,
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Jason and I's stories could probably, the circumstances and things like that would probably be minorly different, but the storyline would be the same. If it was a movie and we went and presented it at 2 different times, they'd be like, we just heard the same pitch from somebody else.
Exactly.
Even
the same time frame.
Yeah, same time frames and very close to, when we straightened ourselves up. And, I grew up in Texas, and those people, there you go. And the people that know me back then, they a lot of them have joked, even seeing me now, and some of them jokes in.
Do you see the accent changed the second he said Texas?
Yeah, it slowed down a little bit. We are
never really gets out of it.
We are,
just so your fans know, that since this is all about your fans, is that we are original Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
born and bred.
Okay.
Yeah, both of us are Texas boys, so that there's probably a whole study they could do just on that.
Yeah.
But growing up there, I had a rough. My family life was normal. Just I just call it that. What's atypical, right? Up until I was in my 20s, but I was always a troublemaker and didn't like myself, didn't love myself, and did everything I could all along the way to try to figure out how to do other things to feel like I needed to feel. Ran away to Florida. Thought we'd go, sip margaritas on the beach, hang out, do that kind of stuff, and fell flat on my face out here without having all the lifelines I had back there. So, I don't. The story every time I hear recovery story, I'm like, this is the same stuff. It's like I was a mess. I like when I tell my stories, like I was a mess. Take everything in the book you can think of that you could do wrong or whatever you want to call it, and I did it. What I really enjoy talking about and digging into is just the restoration part, because we could camp out all day telling old stories about bars and stuff like that, and there's a lot of funny ones, you get a lot of humor out of them.
There's a lot of them that aren't so funny too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I just chalk it up and say, just think about anything you could possibly do and trouble you could have gotten in, and I did it. So, I just had that moment here. Mine was, Pinellas County Jail type situation. Got arrested and had that moment where I was like, hey, that realization and awareness. Like I had that second, where you like kind of see yourself and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. So that's what made the shift in me. And so I've spent, again, the last 10 years doing anything and everything I can do to run this race, I guess you call it, or take this adventure. And it's been cool. It's taken me through the rooms of AA. It's taken me through the rooms of NA. It's taken me through the church. It's taken me through the Messianic movement and the Torah movement. And now we're on this kind of the other side of all that and in a different space that's really, really exciting right now. And all those spaces were, kind of different, and learned and took away stuff from them. But who I am, that's not who I am. That's just stuff I've done.
Yeah.
Who I am is I like that question. I'm like, I'm just me. I don't. And the one thing I'll say today is I'm me, and I can say that I really like me.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say that for the first 9 years of my recovery. I was clean. I was sober. I was functioning member of society. I was progressing in everything, life, family, finances, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I wasn't in love with myself. As a lot of people would think I was. They would argue like, that guy's, full of himself. I'm sure there's people out there who would say that. But today I look in the mirror and I really enjoy the person that I am. That's a cool space to be in for where I am today.
Most people can't say that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Share.
So,
Cheers.
we have so much that we want to share with these people, and
well,
I don't know where you guys want to start.
The millions of followers that follow me.
Oh yeah.
Most of them know who Jason is, but
they
might not know who the great Robin is.
Yeah. No. Okay. So.
Millionaires.
Yeah.
That's our good friend Eric Gregg would say.
Other than the jet setting, supermodel, all the stuff that everybody knows. It's like out there,
Princess,
right? Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Miss Rock Hill '99.
Those are just crowns you've worn.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just jewels.
Just jewels.
Won every award in this town for PR and marketing.
Yep.
I mean,
you guys are doing a pretty good
job
of my bio,
local celebrity,
actually.
hot shot of the month, Super Bowl celebrity.
Oh yeah, big time. Got a picture with every celebrity you could ever imagine.
Work done, doesn't make a move without calling her.
I mean, it's like...
Alright, y'all were good there for a minute, but I don't know. I'm originally from South Carolina, born and raised. So we got that southern thing going on with all of us, but I definitely...
How is South Carolina southern?
It is.
Well, it depends on where you're coming from.
I mean, from Dallas, Texas,
I don't know.
It looks way up there, doesn't it?
Well, of course, if you're in Texas, anything north of Texas is considered Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
She could be Canadian, actually.
Right, I am. So...
Don't you know?
Don't you know? I don't even know. I can't even... Yeah, who knows? Okay, so anyway, back to me. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, me and this guy have been married for almost a decade.
This guy she's pointing to is Jason.
Yep. This guy.
Who usually has on the all black.
Yeah.
I traded.
We swapped outfits before the show tonight, so.
Just to confuse everyone.
Yeah.
No, but, I am a recovering perfectionist. Just kidding. I recovered. I did the whole drugs and alcohol thing. I did the whole pretending I was somebody I was not thing. Wearing many mask thing. You name it, I've done it. And still always somehow appeared as though I was the pretty princess and not a person who didn't have it all together with tons of bad things going on. So this journey has been fun for me as I've been able to admit a lot of stuff that I was or felt or did or whatnot. So the authenticity part is really awesome. I love living in it. I sometimes even get corrected by my husband on just not the way I might present a certain thing or whatnot. So it's an ongoing, evolving thing that I believe we do as humans, as friends, in our authentic community that we've created, where people can just be who they are and be accepted for that. So that's been awesome. But yeah, I was known in the business world for being a young entrepreneur. I sold my first PR firm in 2009 to the largest independently owned PR firm in the Southeast. I went to work for them for a year, and then I decided that I was going to let God lead my company and not feel like I was all of these things and I had accomplished all this great stuff. But I came around in the time when young professionals were really being highlighted for the first time. And so I, being a young professional, just was kind of put on this, a little bit of this pedestal of, being young and doing business. And
yeah, but you were born on a pedestal.
Okay.
Right? I mean...
What do you mean?
Don't tell the viewers that that's the first time that you were put on a pedestal.
No, it definitely wasn't.
That would not be very authentic.
It definitely wasn't the first time I was put on a pedestal.
I don't think you ever got down, did you?
Oh, goodness. Some of that is to my fault, and some of it is not. Anyway, I digress.
The difference between... We should have a discussion about the difference between... like seeing something, like admitting and accepting.
Right.
Might be a good topic.
All right. Well, I'll add that to the list. We have so much we want to share with people about.
Isn't that what our
this adventure is?
Our adventures are, though, is like these places where we admit certain things based on our awareness in our life, and then the adventure, the process of accepting it, and then moving beyond. We have a new level of awareness. We're adjusting to that new level of awareness, and we see it for what it is, and then we got to process through it.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just trying to.
Well, no, I think that's a good point. Not the pedestal part.
Well, that's what I see it as, is like this place. I mean, I do believe that you were born on a pedestal, but...
Okay. Well, we'll save that topic for another day. And I'm going to finish talking about myself.
Okay.
No, I went to school for public relations and communications, and that field has changed immensely over the last decade, but I was up in the middle of it all until having my son, who is turning 4 on Friday, believe it or not, and was diagnosed with cancer when he was 18 months old. So then that took us down a whole nother adventure that was very unexpected, but where we had to grow quickly and adapt and evolve and buckle up for the ride and all of that. So that's really kind of where my life has taken me into some, unknown, some of the unknown things I didn't think I would ever experience to, I'm grateful that I am married to someone who we're constantly trying to be better people. I would never want to be in a relationship or even with just myself stuck into just being a certain way or accepting a certain thing or complaining or being negative or hating my job or hating my life or, these things. I think it's so important to note because so many people listening are feeling that way or don't know how to change or don't know how to take that first step or how to get out of a relationship that they can't stand or how to look in the mirror to a person that they don't love.
Yeah.
And so that's really why we're here. You know, we don't have perfect lives. We never have. We've been through, like you mentioned, some horrific things, tumultuous
we don't
things.
have perfect lives right now.
Well, no, but it's just like to your point. Like, there's people that get stuck in the status quo of like, this is. I guess this is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that goes back to what we were saying earlier. But I think we're all three of us have a common thread is that we all agree that that's bullcrap. Like
right.
There is always better space. You know, there's always a. You don't have to just tolerate life.
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to be tolerable or just manage through it or whatever it is, which is what a lot of people think. You know,
wishing and hoping and begging and praying for a salvation in the future that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And living in suffering and misery now. And a lot of people, even the people that, you know, we talked about this with social media earlier, is that they present this perfect looking life.
Right.
Where, oh, I'm doing this with my family, or I'm doing this, you know, or I got this award, or I'm doing blah, blah, blah. In reality, that they are just miserable.
Yeah.
With every part of life, but most importantly themselves, because they don't know who they are.
Right.
And they don't know that they were created for this moment in time. Like, this is the greatest moment in time. And if you are begging, wishing, hoping, and praying that this moment in time would go away, then you are living in hell.
Right.
And I can't think of anything worse than that.
Right.
As a whole.
Yeah.
And
we've
so
all been there.
How does a person who's even listening or watching right now who feels that way, what's a takeaway that they can get from this in making one step in the right direction for tomorrow?
You know, ironically or interestingly, I don't think there's any such thing. There's no such thing as ironic anything, but one of the things that we continue to be more aware of, as well as you and everyone that we're involved with, is the importance of breathing.
Yeah.
You know, just shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mental mouth. And breathe.
Yeah.
You know, and just in your nose and out your nose and close your eyes and just be with yourself in the moment. And that is going to allow you to realign with who you are, where you came from, like your source. And it is going to give you a new perspective of what is, not what we want it to be, or what we don't want it to be, maybe, but just simply what is. And in that what is, based on what I know to be true through experience in my own life as well as lots of other people, is that when we do that, when we take that time, we instantly will see things in this perspective that allows us to become aware of the immense amount of blessing that we have in this current moment. Not blessing like in some sort of religious type of way, but just blessing like the fact that we have this ability to breathe and be who we are,
I'm
and
alive.
have a voice.
My heart's beating.
You know, I mean, there are certainly people in this world that are in different circumstances, but at the end of the day, if you have that ability to pause and breathe, then chances are you will have the ability to see things a little bit differently than maybe the way that you're seeing them in the current moment. And that, you know,
perspective.
That's a good starting point. You know, that's just
what I want to say is that it's the change from your current state isn't going to come from anyone else or anything else. It's not out there that you have to go find.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not lost.
Yeah.
When you breathe, you can become aware of who you are, where you are, so you don't have to go find yourself or wait for someone to find you, like God or something like that. God's not lost either, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
But you have everything that you need in this current moment to overcome your current position in your current reality. And that in itself, when you begin to see that for what it is, will give you the courage and the strength and the power to put another foot in front of the other and overcome what you might think your current reality is.
One thing that you brought to mind was, I heard this quote one time that said, some people would love to have your bad days, your worst days. And it just kind of put in perspective for me that, you know, we are so blessed in so many ways, even when by the world's standards, you know, it might look differently.
So breathe.
Breathe. Just breathe.
Just breathe.
Remember that you were born when your heart began to beat. You began to breathe well before your mind was ever formed. And all those judgments and all those thoughts and all those things that you think about and that you think are wrong,
regrets,
they never existed in the beginning. And they really don't exist now. And so just breathe and listen to your heartbeat and listen to yourself, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then tune in to the next episode.
And then we'll tell you what to do after you breathe.
Practice breathing this week.
Yes. It is actually really cool once you first start doing that, though, how you go, wow, you know, like how long has it been since I actually realized what it takes just for my to have one breath.
Right.
You know, all the things that go on behind the scenes. So, you know, I think that's good.
Yep.
You guys want to stop there and
at least pause.
At least pause and breathe.
And breathe. Well, and pee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things we'd like to hear from you guys is just feedback on topics, or, you know, just if there was something that we said today that meant something to you, please share that with us.
Or pissed you off, please share it.
Share it.
You know, we are, if you think that we are out of our minds and that we don't know what we're talking about, we would love to have you as a guest so that we could talk to you. Eric and I talked about this last night.
Yeah.
You know, we are not perfect. We are not the answer people. We don't know anything other than what we've experienced up to this current moment in time. And we are not here and broadcasting any of this to be right.
Yeah.
There is no such thing in our minds. We are simply doing it because we believe it is who we are, and we have been called to be authentic with ourselves and others. And so I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let us know what you're thinking.
That's it. It's a wrap.